President Barrow unveils committee to clear the Greater Banjul areas of broken vehicles. Senior electoral officers receive training ahead of voter registration. Gambia is set to launch Food Systems Summit Dialogues on Wednesday. These and more coming on Gambia 24. Hello and good evening. You're watching Gambia 24 News with me, Mariam Cham, and thanks for joining us. It is very common to find highway pavements in the Greater Banjul areas dumped with second-hand goods in the name of business. This leads to permanent blockage of the paths for pedestrians and motorists in the traffic, contributing a high quota in the daily traffic jams. The menace is in fact described as a serious environmental pollution by elders of the country's capital city, calling on the intervention from the presidency. More of that in this report by Sohna Tunkara.
The space taken by second-hand heavy machinery, household and industrial appliances along every highway across the country's city sites formed part of the concern conveyed to President Barrow when the Muslim elders of Banjul called on him in observance of the feast marking the end of Ramadan. Such a meeting at the State House is held every religious feast, during which senior citizens of the capital city and the president interact and exchange goodwill messages. President Adama Barrow, together with Vice President Dr. Aissatou Toure, hosted the Muslim elders in continuity of the old tradition, paving ways for discussion of a wide range of developmental issues of the country. The Thursday engagement came at a time when the project to uplift the beauty of Banjul has taken shape, with President Barrow boasting of the progress as one of his government's greatest legacies. Worldwide, items made in the past are described as the making of quality over quantity, especially regarding textile and furniture. However, the volume of second-hand goods, including cars and other heavy-duty materials on every space, has shadowed the hygiene and beauty of the Greater Banjul areas, according to the Banjulians. In fact, the situation is equated with a classical dumping of waste in the residential areas.
dafa am luñ sétlu lo xamné
ye fenne korosimi yalon ko
su ci government jëmu da def dara.
The committee has observed something, that if stands are not taken, all your government's effort might go in vain. There is an issue with cars found along roadsides across the country. All cars are dumped literally in every part of Banjul, and the likelihood of those cars fit for repair is very slim. These cars are causing environmental hazards, and it is more prevalent in the combos, where all containers and cars that do not meet operational standards in Europe are all dumped here in the country.
Among the list, worn-out car tires are among the most common trash not to dump sites, but in the streets and every junction within the city sites.
Senta yu mageti nga xamné ken sañatu ko use Europe.
There is a bigger problem. Lots of car tires are also dumped in the country. I believe it is a contributing factor to accidents. We have environmental experts here. They know the danger attached to such. People burn car tires when they are of no use, and this act can weaken our health due to the toxic fumes that emanates from them. We are urging the government to strengthen up measures to stabilize this situation, because it can deliver bigger problems to the country.
As the issue constituted a concern worth sharing to the presidency by the Banjul elders, they appeared to have an existing project, but yet to roll out to address the issue of street clearing. President Barrow used the opportunity to disclose the constitution of a committee, which is set to address the issue immediately after the month of fasting.
Last week, the chief of police sita.
Just last week, we sat with the chief of police to discuss the issues of used vehicles parked all over the country. We were waiting for the end of Ramadan to start the operation, whereby all used vehicles will be taken care of, or else the government will take them away. We will also contract people to pick up all the thrown away tires off the highways. Those that are importing these tires into the country will be advised as to how these tires should be handled in a way that will not affect anyone in the country.
This aspect of the discussion during the meeting of Banjul elders and President Barrow is a vibration of critics' concern over the high volume of importation of used goods from the West to these parts of Africa. Most of it, especially motor vehicles, stays so long on public pavements for reasons best known to the importers. The scenarios reflect official dumping and pollution of residential and workplaces across the country's urban areas. While there is no specific regulation to address this form of concern, environmental and health policies might be used as reference to empower the police in the proposed operation to clear the country of the tons of used mechanical and household goods. For African News, Sohna Tunkara.
Now, senior registration officers of the Independent Electoral Commission on Friday began a 3-day training on voter registration ahead of the December 2021 presidential election. The training is geared towards preparing the senior officers with knowledge and skills needed for the conduct of voter registration effectively. Nezise attended the training and she now reports.
Elections are often regarded as a complex process that requires the participation of key players who perform different activities and functions. The conduct of general voter registration is among the key activities on schedule for the making of a presidential choice for the country in about 7 months' time. Speaking at the opening of the 3-day training sessions, the chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission, Ali Mohamed Njai, said the importance of the exercise could not be emphasized, calling on all eligible voters to book their voting tickets.
I would like to take this opportunity to call on all eligible Gambians to turn out to register during this period. This would enable them to participate in the various elections, which is a civil duty for all citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, as senior registration officers, you have a huge task ahead. It will be your responsibility to ensure the success of the registration in your assigned areas or constituencies. I have no doubt that the highly committed team of trainers from the IEC and the SI would provide you with the necessary training you require.
The Director of Training, Communication and Public Affairs at the IEC, Pama Kankan, explained the process in which the training will be carried out.
The trainers, I hope they would do well, because we have a very good team of trainers. Because training would be done actually in 2 folds. First would be done by the IEC facilitators, who would train on the laws, on the procedures of voter registration. And then there will be another training done by the ESI officials. This is the company which is recruited to conduct the voter registration. So those teams would also be training the trainees on how to use their equipments, their gadgets. These are the machines they would use to register people, the laptops, the printers, and all those gadgets. So we hope from these group of trainers that they will be able to deliver on the goals, so that they train the trainees very well, so that when they go out in the field, they can perform as expected.
The training exercise will be done in 2 phases. The first part includes the use of the IEC voter registration processes and procedures, while the second segment focuses on the practical process of voter registration.
The 2021 voter registration is to be held from the 29th of May to 11 July 2021. The Commission will engage 220 registration teams, which will be deployed to 370 registration centers across the country. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Desise.
In the Imam of Kanifing Estate Mosque has urged Gambian youth to put more focus on knowledge and skills in the preparation of the future. Baba released this advice during his Eid al-Fitr message to his followers in Kanifing. Amanda reports.
Youths are one of the most flexible people in the country, as they represent the age of all forms of life struggles. In some quarters, they are known as the backbone of national development, given their potential role and contribution in the management of all sectors. Imam Babali gave a hint as to how the younger generation might be protected.
But the youths, they should protect their future. And the best way to protect your future is to focus on what can benefit you and benefit your family. That is to learn knowledge, to learn trade, and avoid this drug attitude, this, how to call it, crime, and expecting to have easy money. There is no easy way to success. You must work hard. You must read hard. You must do everything with seriousness, with honesty, so that Allah will bless your deeds. But this kind of crime, especially killing our ladies, our girl, folks. If you are following the media, there are a lot of killings to our young girls. One happened recently in Lamen. One happened before, I think, Banjulunding or Yundum, and the crime that happened in Sanyang with the fishermen issues. A lot of crime, you cannot count them.
In view of the 2021 electoral calendar, Imam Babali called on Gambians to maintain peace while supporting their political parties.
The best commodity that Gambia has to market is peace and peacefulness. That's why we call ourselves the Smiling Coast. Having the Smiling Coast, I think it needs to be protected jealously, and it should be for all Gambians. I did mention nobody would for somebody to take certain risk or offend your fellow Gambian or insult using foul words against each other, trying to pull down your fellow Gambian, your fellow Muslim, just because of the interests of party politics or difference of leaders in the party or loving a position. It doesn't work. A Muslim doesn't behave like that.
Babali is a well-known Islamic cleric, scholar, and human rights activist. He is a sitting commissioner on the National Human Rights Commission for the Gambia. He started his career as a teacher and later assumed the role of imam at the Kanifing Estate Mosque. His diverse skill set includes training as an engineer. He also served as member of the Hajj and Umrah Commission until the early 2000s. He was among the founding members of GAMCO, a human rights organization fighting against harmful traditional practices, including female genital mutilation. For iAfrica News, I am Fatmata Kasim.
And that report by Fatmata Kasim on Imam Babali will take us to a break, and we'll be back with the rest of the news on Gambia 24. Stay with us.
Following the announcement by the Independent Electoral Commission, the IEC, of the dates for the general voter registration scheduled from the 29th of May to 11th July 2021, the National Council for Civic Education, NCCE, reminds the public that voter registration is an integral part of the electoral process, as it is key to franchise as stated in Section 39 of the Constitution, and hence a civic right and a duty for all eligible Gambians. The NCCE therefore encourages every eligible citizen to fully participate in this crucial national exercise, as it is the basis for any credible and participatory election. The National Council for Civic Education informs the public that to register and acquire a voter's card in the upcoming general voter registration exercise, one has to prove your Gambian citizenship by producing one of the following documents as stated in Section 12 of the Elections Act: birth certificate, ID card, passport, or alcalo or district chief attestation. As the Gambia prepares for this very important national exercise, the National Council for Civic Education reminds the public to stay away from any altercation and refrain from the use of abusive language, provocative actions, intimidations, thugs, and physical confrontation at all times, as these contravene the laws of the Gambia. The public is encouraged to follow due process to seek redress when the need arises during the period to ensure that peace and stability prevail throughout the process. Voter's card is your key to franchise. Register to vote and vote wisely. This message is brought to you by the National Council for Civic Education, NCCE, with support from the United Nations Development Programme.
Welcome back and still with the news. The government of the Gambia will on Wednesday launch its Food Systems Summit Dialogue. The summit is in response to the request for the member states to initiate multi-stakeholder food systems summit dialogues in preparation for World Food Systems Summit, which will be convened by the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. As featured in this report, the objective of the dialogue is to bring about tangible and positive changes to the world's food system. Details in this report. The goal of the World Food Systems Summit is to deliver a platform for leaders to ensure the transformation to a sustainable and healthy global food system for people and the planet. Over 40 dialogues have been convened in 23 countries across 6 continents, engaging over 2,500 food systems practitioners. The Gambia dialogue will bring together relevant actors from across the entire national food systems to share experiences and reflections built on knowledge and wisdom. The move is expected to contribute towards building sustainable food systems by 2030. The summit is part of the United Nations Decade of Action to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. The Gambia has chosen 4 themes for discussion, which include ensuring access to safe and nutritious food for all and shift to sustainable consumption patterns, boost nature-positive production and advance equitability in livelihood, build resilience to vulnerabilities, shocks and stress, and private sector participation in agriculture. These consultations will culminate in shaping the directions of the pathway to sustainable Gambian food systems for the coming decade. The dialogue will also identify future actions to improve the functioning of the food system, as well as making commitments for collective actions, including defining a new flagship projects. The summit will bring together key players from the worlds of science, business, policy, healthcare, and academia, as well as farmers, youth organizations, consumer groups, environmental activists, and other key stakeholders. All member states are expected to attend and present a clear national pathway towards sustainable food systems. For iAfrica News, I am Mariama Cham. Now, facial makeup, hairdressing, manicure and pedicure are one of the most lucrative business ventures that get huge attention during festive holidays such as Eid. As featured in this report, iAfrica TV visited some of the salons and gained the opinion of owners on the impact of their work on women, especially during Eid. Details in this report by Khadija Tuseka.
Some of the most elaborate and colorful festivals are often tied around religious activities. As it were, such festivals serve as celebration of faith and strong reminder of the people's belief system and convictions. One of such religious festivals is Korite, also known as the Feast After Ramadan. In preparation for this occasion, women from different walks of life line up for hours to get their face and hair done. The owner of Mama Africa Hours Beauty Salon expressed the significance of facial makeup in women. She said facial makeup boosts the self-esteem of a woman whenever she dresses up.
Moy everything mun nga ñaw yére bu rafet jënd yére bu seer makeup bi mo koy génné.
Makeup is everything. It increases the beauty of outfit you're wearing. We have different types of makeup, and I can give the best makeup any woman desires. It is also something that enhances your beauty and increases your self-esteem. People too can respect you with that. Basically, it is everything for a woman.
According to her, the advent of the coronavirus last year affected her business.
Last year, it affected all of us. But we thank Allah, maybe we will be able to recover what we have lost in the previous year. It's true that the pandemic is still here. We just hope it will end soon.
The owner of Jangha's beauty salon, Binta Jang, has said her business booms more last year than this year despite the existence of the coronavirus pandemic.
Alhamdulillah, digala last year ak num bon more than this year.
Last year was better than this year. Despite the coronavirus, people still come out to braid their hairs. We all know that women engage on beautifying themselves, but this year, I think it's because of the time for the Eid is short. That's why we don't have many customers, but we thank Allah for everything, and we're optimistic that Tubaski will be better.
Last year, the coronavirus affected many small and large-scale businesses. However, owners of beauty salons have different opinions on how the pandemic affected them. They all concord with the fact that their work is of great importance to women as it enhances their beauty. Khadija Tuseka, iAfrica News.
And the report by Khadija Duseka on makeup and beauty brings us to the end of Gambia 24. I am Mariama Cham. Thanks for watching and do have a blessed weekend.